The following stream has been approved for all puzzle audiences by the puzzle general community.
You hear something? Yo, everybody, what's up? It's your boy. No, I can't even do that. I can't do that. Those guys are so annoying. Hey, everybody, it's Blasphemous Roar, and I'm joined today by, who am I joined by today? I can't remember, except that I can. I just want to give you a chance to talk.
Saiho.
What's up, Saiho? So, today's game is going to be Moai-kun. Saiho, you're familiar with this game, right?
Yes. Well, I played it during MTX, I believe. Not in my official race, in one of 300 unofficial races I had.
Yeah, because in Mystery Tournament, you're allowed to jump in and race whatever game is happening to happen. So even if you're not racing at the time, jumping in and playing other people's games is all part of the fun. And that's where I believe I also did this game. I might have been restreaming it. Also, the timer is running.
Yeah.
So this game is going to be basically a puzzle platformer wherein you're going to be running around, pushing blocks, trying to make sure you can get the exit. Don't step on spikes. Don't get killed by enemies. Pretty simple. There are going to be 15 stages that they're going for. The main thing to note about this game is that there is, unfortunately, a life system. After you get a game over, you are back to the last. There's a checkpoint on it for every fourth stage. So 1, 5, 9, 13 will all be checkpoints. And then we'll have to replay it again.
As far as I remember, this game is more about figuring out the mechanics and various interactions between different types of tiles, etc. And almost every level can stump people.
Yeah, and it's well, there's going to be so you're going to see a lot of simple stages, you're going to see a lot of harder stages, and there's quite a bit of variance. And the thing is that there's going to be easier stages later that just deal with mechanics. And I guess at that point we should just let them see what's going to come. So if we want to go ahead and get it started, are you looking forward to this? I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, well. So, on TM screen, we can see the menu. Huh. Oh. Okay.
Interesting. The commentary stream went off after the main stream, so we're going to be...
Behind?
Behind. Nope, there we go. We're good. Okay. No, we are behind. Hey, Aries, we're behind. People are going to see this before we do. Oh, dear. So...
Yeah. Chat, please don't spoil the game for us.
Maybe I could just refresh it to forward. There we go. Let's stop it and play it. Oh. What did happen? I killed it. So during this first round, they're going to learn that they can't be pushing any of those blocks down. They have to jump over those blocks and maintain the pyramid. And TM appears to be in the demo still.
Are you sure it's
So-
a demo?
Oh no, I guess that is already on stage
Yeah.
3 is
That's-
that one. Okay,
yeah,
my bad.
It's
My
first
bad.
stage.
That's quick. TM is moving real quick here. So in this second stage, all you're going to do is learn how to push boulders. You can push them or you can headbutt them. And if you headbutt them, the screen wraps in this game. And if you get hit by a moving rock, you're dead.
Hmm.
All right, let me just go ahead and pull up the mainstream here. We'll be a little bit behind, but that's okay.
Yeah, I have the same problem.
Okay, there we go. We're back on parity with the commentary stream. So it looks like everybody there is approximately on stage 3, with windeu moving on to stage 4. And this one, it deals with learning how to deal with those broken blocks. So those more kind of fragmented looking blocks, or at least the ones with the texture there, those are breakable. They will not fall. They will maintain floating regardless of what happens. So they're not like the other breakable blocks. And it looks like windeu knows what he's doing there. Immediately moving on to stage 5. ffrpro and donkeyspaceman here. Well, we'll see how they do. It looks like they take a little bit of time on this stage. So this is what I meant by easy stages, though. Like, right now, stage 5, I mean, look at that. All you got to do is push the blocks down and then go get your guy. And then jump back up. Puzzles!
Oh, if I remember correctly, those platforms at the bottom are not actual platforms. This is just background.
Yeah, it looks like those are platforms, but that is not the case. Oh, and TM taking a game over has to go all the way back to the start and then gets stuck on this stage again, on the first stage.
Yeah, there are 5 lives, if I remember correctly.
I believe it's 3.
Or maybe...
So FFR is learning that if you break that bottom block, you can't do it. I mean, all you gotta do in this is just run over and headbutt the enemies. So we have on windeu's screen, we have a new enemy type. This one is the bat thrower, or whatever he's called. He flings bats at you that spread out and the like. And you also have those silver platforms, which are going to be falling platforms. So you cannot step on those platforms for very long, or they will fall off.
Do you know when do you get lives? Because I just noticed that windeu have 5 lives now. So either you get 1 every level, or you actually start with 5.
You might get 1 every level. No, you're probably right. You probably start with 5, and I was wrong. Fair enough. So, windeu's on the first really, actually puzzly level of the game, truly. The level that TM's on now is a little bit puzzly, just in terms of figuring out that you got to put the rock over there and not break stuff. But the one windeu's on right now, they've got to figure out how they're going to get across to that guy, and you cannot jump 2 spaces. You can only jump a 1 space gap and only 1 space up. So it's very simple when you learn that you're not going to do any extended jumps and the like, that you only got that range of motion. So he's going to have to figure out, how do you clear those spikes and get to your guy and then get back up into that area? And that bomb's going to be the key to that. But windeu is kicked the boulder and crushing himself. This is why you got to be very careful about those boulders.
If I remember right, you have to jump to the left where the screen just wraps around. I'm not sure though.
So it looks like donkeyspaceman's got the idea. Actually, this is what you're going to see right there. Pushing the boulder into the right spot by bombing the floor and allowing you to push the boulder down, therefore accessing your guy. And then you can jump across to safety now. But first you gotta bash that block ahead of him, though. Oh, no, he makes the jump.
Oh.
So yeah, you have to knock the boulder down and jump across the spikes through that in order to get it. So, Donkey Spaceman with the double jumps! Oh, those were some good-looking jukes.
I'm also impressed that you remember all of this. I
may have proctored this. So I've had to keep quiet about how this match goes for a long time. This is one of those cases where I do know what happens, but I'm going to pretend like I don't. Hey, who wins? I don't know. Actually, to be fair, in the Windeu versus Donkey Spaceman match, I do not know who wins.
So Donkey is on 9th level right now, so he's safe from dying.
Yeah, and here we're going to see another level where all you have to do is a corner jump on this one. That's it. Like, that's it. That's the whole stage. Go grab your guy, do a corner jump, jump across the falling platform, and you're free. Is that the term, corner jump? When you're jumping from one direction and you turn around and move past the other one? I never know what to call them.
I never thought it has a name.
Apparently you don't. Apparently there's a bomb. That level just has a lot easier.
Yeah, it looked like he also could just jump and wrap around. Okay, this is the first puzzle level where you can just do a wrong move and you have to start again. And it takes a while to do everything. You have to clear everything from top to the bottom.
Yeah, you can't just stay on one side, which is what Donkey Spaceman is doing there.
Yeah.
As long as he doesn't go past this current layer, they'll be fine.
Isn't it too late? Oh, okay, it's not.
No, it's not too late yet.
So if I'm reading this right, you are able to jump one tile above and 2 tiles forward, but not 3 tiles forward.
So, yeah, you're able to jump 2 tiles forward. So you're able to clear a single space gap, basically.
Yeah.
And then you can jump 1 block up. So you can clear 1 block and you can go up 1 block with your jumps. And those are very fixed there. So
Yes,
it looks like Donkey Spaceman does not run into issues there.
Yeah, both players are very close to each other, like surprisingly close.
Wow. Windeu just caught up. I looked over for one moment. He was still on that stage having to bomb that boulder, and then I look up and now he's there. So TM here is also stuck on the stage where you have to use the boulder in order to drop that, in order to get across those spikes.
Okay, so Donkey has the right idea.
So now Donkey's got to figure out where bombs are being used, what's going on there. And it looks like he created a safe platform down.
Can you... So, there are those metal blocks on Donkey's screen. Can you just... they are indestructible, right?
Correct. They are completely indestructible.
Okay, so you have to destroy the tiles from the above and push boulders?
Correct.
Okay, yeah, that you only need 1 boulder.
Yeah, you only need 1 boulder in order to do it because you can jump and headbutt.
Yeah.
But I don't think Donkey Spaceman knows you can jump and headbutt.
Oh, he already did that in previous level.
Did he?
So,
okay.
Yeah.
Because that was definitely a frivolous use of a bomb there. Yeah. Now the rest of the stage is really easier than it looks. You just gotta drop that block if you want to be safe, and then go down there and get that guy, basically.
And you only need 2 bombs.
The problem is that guy over there, he's a big jerky jerk, but we've seen Donkey do some sick dodges before, so... Oh, it looks like he's going the easy way. Donkey takes the easy route.
Nice. He plays really... I mean, both Windeu and Donkey play really well.
Yeah, they definitely are approaching this the right way. They're not... This game... This game's not very hard at all, really, in these early stages.
It's punishing. It's very punishing. So for me, it's the worst kind of game where I know it's easy, so I'm going fast, and then suddenly, right at the end, you notice that you are short on, let's say, bomb, or you've just forgot one thing at the very start of the whole level, and
yeah,
bam, you have.
I was running into those problems the other night myself.
And the worst part is that was your last life, and now you have to repeat 4 levels instead of 1.
Yeah, the live system in this is wholly unnecessary, but that's how older games kind of were. You extend the game time a bit by making them have limited lives. So this is the stage. This is going to be the stage that donkeyspaceman is on. When we do mystery tournament goals for this, it's typically been this stage, beat stage 12. Because this is easily the hardest game, the hardest stage that you'll see them go up against.
Yeah, looks like I remember that stage for a reason.
So FFR kind of does something weird here, and is sitting on the password screen for a while. So I think FFR is taking that password down, finding like a piece of paper or something, and kind of sits here for a bit, while TM is already ahead on stage 9 or 10. I can't remember which one. I think that's 9. So windeu going for a solution here, but unfortunately there's no way for him to reach that bottom, that second layer. So they actually have to do something proper here, because they have no way to bomb down. So he's finding himself blocked by those rocks completely.
So, were they? I actually don't remember the solution. Okay, I remember it. I see it now. You just have to destroy the lower block, or not?
Yeah, you got to give yourself a little bit of leeway in there, basically. Because as soon as you put those boulders down, you can't get across. So you have to actually kind of like break underneath them before you let them down.
Yeah, but you also have to get a guy on the top right.
So donkeyspaceman just made the right move, and it looks like he recovered. He's not as trapped as he could be. It looks like Donkey's just trying to get out of here.
Yeah. Are you able to make the jump?
He's made the jump a few times. He just kept falling down. And resets. I think he has an idea of what he wants to be doing here. So we still have FFR is still getting hung up on this level, not realizing that bombing down and dropping the boulder is an option. And TM there is still trying to figure out this stage, because there's enough. So a thing that this game does is that it attacks you with enough elements. So windeu tried to do something flashy there or the like, but those boulders will kill you dead if you step on them. And it looks like Donkey knows that and is trying to prevent that, because they'll also just stand on your buddy Moai's heads. So a little bit of knowledge with this game is that little known fact, Konami is obsessed with moai statues. It's often seen in a lot of their games, as well as being an early attempt at a company mascot.
Do they have pachinko with them?
I don't know if they have moai pachinko. Now I've got to know. To the Googles!
I'm just doing it.
Even in their kart racer. Oh, windeu got it. Nice. So windeu is passing the hardest stage that they'll be dealing with. They've only got 3 more stages left. The first one here This is a classic case of, oh, these are dropping blocks that as soon as I step on them, they're going to drop, so I need to make sure I leave one behind. And it looks like windeu is being very careful on how he jumps across it, too. Very nicely done. Okay, so they are getting a level every time they're all getting a life every time they clear a level.
Also, it seems that both windeu and donkey never had to use a continue. Oh, except for now.
Yep, right as you say it. So, like I said, this stage is actually quite easy. Unfortunately, windeu kind of messed it up there. You just need to keep going from top to bottom, clearing out any enemies that you have, and just grabbing all the guys. This one's more of a platformer level than any level of puzzle, really.
Also, it's a common theme in this game that because your jump height is very limited, you just go from top to the bottom, and there are no tiles other than the jump pad in 12th level that gives you a boost in height.
Yeah, only the fixed jump tiles will give you any level of height. To be fair, I actually haven't seen how this game plays outside of this goal. So I haven't actually seen how complicated the later levels get.
Do you have any idea how many levels there are?
Not a clue. I somehow never looked. So, windeu has made it to the final stage, and oh, look at this stage. Look at how complicated it is. Isn't this stage going to be so hard? Wait.
Well,
you mean you can just draw a line directly from your starting point to the finish point with no complications?
I'm trying to understand why. But what, you cannot jump from bigger height, or wow?
There is no fall damage. This level is as straightforward as it seems. I think there's fall like stun. You get like stunned a little bit for an animation when you do it, but
there is one tricky part that you're able to push the boulder on the left side and block the exit. That's literally the only more tricky part.
And it looks like windeu gets the win, coming in first place, making it to stage 16 with an official time of 18:43 on the clock there. So yeah, what you're about to see, Aries keyed us in on what's going on here on donkeyspaceman's screen. So, Donkey didn't actually know that when you lose, you can keep going, or that you're expected for any level to keep going. So, we're basically going to be done watching Spaceman's screen here as it goes black. So, he forfeited afterwards. Or I don't know if it was that he didn't know, or just... yeah, rage quits. So, next we have the TM versus FFR still. So, FFR, every time they lose, takes a little bit of a time to fix it up. Okay. So, Aries is informing us that we have not seen the last of Donkey Spaceman. Insert dramatic fist shake here. So,
FFR inputs the password from the scratch?
Yeah, so FFR doesn't seem to notice that there is a continue button when you die.
Yeah, that's strange. Also, you were right. You start with 3 lives.
Okay, so it is, yeah, every time you clear a level, you get an extra life. That's actually a, now that I'm thinking about it, that's also a common recurring theme with Konami in early games, puzzle games like Solomon's, or like, what was the name of that? Not Solomon's Key, I was thinking the wrong game. The Tomb of El Giza, or Pyramids of El Giza, or whatever it was. I
don't remember that one.
It was one of our weekly blinds that we did.
Oh yeah, I did not participate in that one.
Okay. So that's a recurring thing where they're like, by the way, you get to, once you get full health, you're back. Or once you clear a level, you get an extra life, sorry. So
it's actually a common thing in puzzle games with limited lives. I remember several such games.
Which seems like a reasonable mechanic, but
it's a reasonable way of fixing horrible mechanics.
Yeah, there's no reason that puzzle games demand lives. The only time puzzle games demand lives or have a reason to have a live system is admittedly arcade puzzlers, where it's all about like getting the high.
Yeah.
I mean, where it's all about getting the player to put more coins into the system.
It's also perfectly reasonable for puzzle games to demand your soul, like Snakebird.
Snakebird at least had cute bird animations to.
Oh yeah. Unlike Steven Sausage Roll, which is, by the way, way harder than Snakebird. Snakebird is freaking easy. Trust me.
And anytime Snakebird's mentioned, I got to give another shout out to Keval for his wonderful, wonderful design work on that. Just the facial expressions in that game really make it good. If you haven't played Snakebird and you're interested in why the mystery folks keep talking about it, give it a look. There's a Game Boy version that's really good, but it's missing an undo button, and then there's the Steam version, which, if you're going to spend $15 on a puzzle game and enjoy the crap out of it, you can't go wrong.
I believe it's 10. Anyway,
it's only $10. My bad. Even better. Go buy it. And I'm totally not biased at all. No, it doesn't actually give me any money. So, we got... TM here is back again.
They're repeating the same level.
So that was the main thing, is that it takes FFR 23 minutes, finally gets through the stage with the boulder there. Because once you figure out that rock, so he's actually really not that far from TM, except that TM has some solutions ahead. Yeah, that's what I mean. If you saw on FFR screen, he dropped down a little too far, and it stuns you because you fell a little too far, and now you're hurt, basically. That's as far as it goes.
Okay, so FFR is finally on the 9th level. So he or she is safe.
Yeah, once you hit that... yeah, so FFR is never going to have to deal with that level again.
Unless
they're actually tied up right now.
To some extent.
Yeah, the only problem is that TM has further knowledge of the next puzzle, basically.
And at the same time, way less patience, as you can see sometimes.
Yeah, it's really easy to lose your patience when you have to replay levels that you've already done. As somebody who has basically zero patience. But windeu is doing a lovely job of showing us more and more of this game.
Oh wow, Stage 18. So it almost looked like underwater levels, except everything else is the same.
Yep, underwater level with no underwater mechanics.
It's
just a world difference. Which is nice, you need scenery changes in games. So
yeah,
FFR...
it seems that later levels are not getting any more difficult.
So FFR has a nice, or TM Pro has TM has a nice little, mixing everything up, approach to that stage where he drops a block on from top to block any of the swords. Because it surprised me that Donkey did the double sword jump there early on, or windeu did, yeah, no, Donkey did it, right?
Donkey did, yeah.
Yeah, it surprised me that Donkey did that because that's not easy. We actually didn't see... I don't recall any time in which FFR Pro or TM successfully jumped over those swords. let alone 2 of them in rapid succession. Like, that was some boss movement right there.
The hitboxes are also quite weird. It seems that they have exactly 1 tile of size, even though they occupy more space. For example, enemies have the hitbox only on the lower part, on the bottom half. It was visible like 30 seconds before on TM screen.
Yeah, because that's a one of the limitations to NES, and the way that it is, you're not going to see very much hitboxes that have any variance to them. They're almost always going to be the tile size in terms of the hitboxes. And I wouldn't be surprised if that... No, I would... The way that it's set up, yeah. So those... They can only have, like I said, so much of a hitbox, basically. So Donkey is still working on stage 12. TM has made it to stage 12 again, and is still trying to figure out how do you get this done. Because... 12 is an easy level to get stuck on, admittedly.
Yeah, the solution is far from obvious, and actually quite different from any other solution you had to do so far.
Yeah, we've never had to suspend the boulders before, but TM...
Oh, yeah.
Whoa!
That should be it.
TM figuring out answers. Oh, man.
So,
Meanwhile, FFR has completely messed up this level. There is no way to finish that.
Yeah, figuring out when you're dead and you cannot move up. Or can you?
Wait. No way.
Yeah. Oh, wait.
I don't think so.
Yeah, no, unfortunately.
And TM clears stage 12. That means all he's got to do is these next couple of easy stages and accidentally drops 2 platforms and runs into the helmet. But once you've cleared stage 12, I mean, it's a checkpoint.
Are you sure that you're not able to jump over to empty tiles?
Yeah, so you might be able to with an absolutely pixel perfect jump. Might. But I haven't seen that happen yet.
Also, yeah, it just screams every second tile. That's so overused mechanic in puzzle platformer games.
It really is.
It's almost the same like with the free blocks when you have Sokoban style pushing blocks and you have 3 blocks in a line. And
the
you have
classic Zelda formation.
Well, for you maybe it's Zelda, but for other people that never played Zelda before, that's
well, it's so in most gaming communities, I've heard it always been the Zelda blocks, basically. But yeah, the Sokoban style, where you got to push the 2 blocks up and then push the 1 in the middle to the left, basically.
Yeah.
So we have lost the commentary stream. I've lost the commentary stream.
No, it works fine for me.
Okay, I've got to relaunch.
They
It
just
suddenly decided that it's been 1,000 hours in. That was a fun crash.
Oh, so TM just used wrapping around of the screen instead of doing it in the very long way like windeu did. That's actually interesting. There are so many situations in that game that you're able to solve with the use of screen wrapping, and somehow almost all of the players try to avoid it as much as possible.
Yeah, because if you look at level 15 for more than half a second there, I mean, it's easy to just dive in and go for it. But if you actually stop for a moment and look at stage 15, you come to realize there's nothing stopping you from drawing a straight line between, or just drawing an unbroken line between your rescued friends and the door. You don't have to push a single boulder in that stage.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if the original intended solution didn't use any kind of screen wrapping, because the level designer of that level wasn't aware that there will be screen wrapping in the game.
That is possible if different developers of the level, or different level designers, didn't know about certain things. Because it's not necessary for many or any of the solutions that I've seen thus far.
Yeah, I don't think that there was even a single case where you had to use it. So maybe they just added it at some later stages of development.
Well, I think what they might have done with it is that they were specifically putting it in for enemies to be more of a thing. Oh, no, wait, there is one level that they had the screen wrap. Yes, there is one level. The level with the first introduction to bomb, where you had to blow up the floor, hit the block, then push the boulder, and then you had to run around back through the screen wrap and headbutt the two guys in order to grab the moai that's hanging back. I think it was level 4 or something.
I'm not sure if you were. I would have to say it.
Yeah, because you have to screen wrap there, because if you don't, you end up knocking down one of the boulder, or you end up knocking out your platform. So FFR plotting, but goes back and does the same thing over again.
Yeah.
It looks like the gears were turning there.
It's a frustrating level when you know that when you're going to fail, you will have to repeat 3 other levels, which are a little bit time consuming.
And especially in Mystery Tournament, when this level was used as the final level, yeah, it was scary.
It was a cheap way to make things exciting. Nothing like finishing the game on a very frustrating level where anyone can get it any second.
Yeah, admittedly, I think what would be more enjoyable is getting extra, or using an infinite life cheat. Folks, I'm going to tell you this: if you're thinking about going into Mystery Tournament, try doing some really clever solutions or submissions. I have been tinkering with cheat codes, for instance. We've seen a few really good ones that involve that. In a puzzle game like this, you can extend the goal by removing lives from the equation.
By adding lives.
Or turning lives infinite makes you extend that goal a lot further, because then it's just individual levels and there's no restarting. In games that have permanent game overs, for instance, like Contra, that's actually the reason why I turned Contra into infinite lives. Admittedly, I should have turned it into infinite continues, but I also figured they'd never actually pass the stage if they're actually blind to Contra. So I gave them infinite lives as a result of that, which turned out to be 100% justified. But we're always open to interesting and clever solutions. I can recall the ever notorious Mario Kart. No left turns. So they weren't allowed to push the left button at all while racing Mario Kart.
Yeah, I wonder how did it look. And do you actually have some tracks where you can fall off the screen and die there?
I don't know about the Super Mario Kart. I honestly don't remember it enough.
That would be super brutal because you would have to brake to almost do a full stop, then do 270 and then turn. Well, and then start riding again.
Well, it depends. I don't remember. I thought Super Mario Kart has the hop too, so I think you can just keep hopping yourself into a turn.
Okay. Well, that's another classic game that I haven't played, so what do I know? What am I even doing here?
You're fine. What you're doing here is making sure I'm not mumbling to myself for this entire time. It's very valuable. I appreciate it. If nobody else does, I at least appreciate you, Sayo.
Do not put me on pizza says that when you fell off in Mario Kart, you are putting back in the same place.
Yeah, the Kidu comes and fishes you out of the fall. Oh, wait, I wasn't looking... Oh, wait, no, I was. That's right. TM has solved this a while back. We were actually just watching ffrpro vs. donkeyspaceman. Donkey has ideas. The same ideas that he had before, too.
Which were not good.
I mean, it's a clever attempt there to get underneath and up, but that just does not work.
Yeah, I would like this game much more if it had smaller number of mechanics included. Throughout the first few levels, it literally introduces new mechanic almost every new level.
Yeah, I can kind of see that. But when you boil it down, I mean, the mechanics are hop, push, or hop and headbutt. It's just a question of interactions. And keeping those interactions interesting is important. So outside of enemies, I mean, they got the hopper, though. But, I mean, we've learned the crushing the bombs and then taking care of enemies as well.
Yeah, but you also have a lot of different types of enemies, and you're not really sure what do they do exactly. That's another problem.
So the enemies in this game are really just
pushovers. Or...
Yeah, it's supposed to be a blocking for routing and the like, and how do I get around this enemy? But really, it just becomes a why did they bother putting this enemy in?
Yeah. The game would probably be better without any enemies. Especially since they respawn. Okay, maybe in...
Donkey!
Oh.
That's a solution! That is a different solution. I've never seen anybody do it that way.
I have no idea how it happened.
Yeah! He pushed the boulders straight ahead and then kind of dropped one down.
Huh.
So Donkey Spaceman will be taking third. TM has finished his stream at this point. So all we have left is how long does it take ffrpro to finish stage 12? They both use the same solution that to drop the blocks and springboard over them while making a space for you below. This was the first time that I saw them make a ladder or a stairwell out of the boulders, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And we have our good friend, the Traffic Cone. Hello there, Traffic Cone. How did you enjoy the race? He has casually reminded me that Traffic Cones can't talk, so I guess that's a thing.
Okay,
and Donkey Spaceman is now not yet done. Got one more level left. The game's basically done once you finish round 12.
Yeah, that's sad part. So I would imagine that... Oh wait, no, the later levels were still easy, right? The 16, 17 were the easy levels.
Yeah, they seem to be just fine. Like, I'm not sure why the goal would be... I guess the idea that you don't have to go repeating those levels again if they're a little bit longer, but... there's a reason why it ends at 12, for the most part, in, like, Mystery Tournament as well, is because there's not much good for goals between here and there.
No, windeu is right now on 21st level. And... Oh,
Okay. I should have known those were coming. A classic tile-based puzzle game feature, the ice blocks. Good thing those weren't a part of the goal.
I mean, ice blocks are fine.
Sure they are.
So, spoiler alert, the game I'm developing for MT12 also has ice blocks. Sorry in advance.
So, this is the lovely bit. We have 2 games very specifically being built for Mystery Tournament 12 right now. It's lovely.
I mean, my game is not specifically built. I'm just not showing it before MT, since I just wanted to create a very short free game, and I thought, well, I can use it for MT12, so why not?
Fair enough. If you got a good idea for a mechanic, go for it.
To make people cry. Oh, what was it from Getting Over It? I don't remember the citation, but I just remember that I loved it. I made the game for a specific type of people, to hurt them.
There you go. Yeah, that's the one. Well, okay. Apparently, Saiho has made this for a specific type of people, Mystery Tournament players, to hurt them. All right. I'm sorry, Saiho. I thought we were doing a good job of making you feel welcomed and being friendly, and we all actually love you, but I guess that we may have called you a puzzle god one too many times, and now you're about to take it out on us?
Oh, you're saying that only because you are one of the testers. Okay, so FFR is still on the 12th level, which we have no idea how long it's going to take. Anywhere between 1 and 16 minutes.
Yeah, and the sad part is, like, FFR has come so close to the solution so many times. So that's it right there. Just hit that extra block and you're fine.
Yeah.
And I think you might be realizing that this time around. So hopefully it looks like the restart happened quicker on this one than prior, so he might actually be understanding there.
So the thing I don't really like in this level is the jump pad. Because of the jump pad, you are confused how exactly does it work, how high you can jump on it, and it pointlessly complicates the puzzle. Like, it doesn't really add anything to the depth of the puzzle. It serves just as a distraction that you're never sure if you really fully understand how it works.
So the jump pad though allows for a certain type of solution to happen here, wherein you jump both the boulders down and you can jump over them basically.
Yeah, but it could be achieved in a different way. That, for example, there could be some boulder, or just jump pad could work in a different way, more, let's say, manageable, instead of jumping pretty much. I don't know how many tiles is that, 6, 7, 8?
I think it's
or
the whole
just
street.
to the top. Yeah,
I think it's to the top because it's just that they're bashing their head on the ceiling. So yeah, every time FFR game overs, they've been going into the password menu. So FFR only has 14 more minutes to finish this. I think a lot of times, especially in this game, like, the worst part is that FFR doesn't know just how much harder the levels after 12 are. By that I mean the fact that they're not. So, getting stuck on 12 for so long, and then realizing, man, I've still got 3 whole stages after this that are going to be a giant pain, kind of wears on you a bit.
Plus, having to repeat 3 time-consuming levels each freaking time.
Yeah.
That's a really bad game design.
Aren't we happy that modern games are a little bit better with that kind of thing?
Almost like people learn something throughout the years.
Yeah, you know what? You know what? I'm glad we live in a modern day and age. The undo button.
Oh yeah.
I don't mind if it's even just like one time use, basically, where it only puts you back one move instead of just continuously undoing. Just at least having one undo when you're like, yeah, no, I definitely made a mistake here. That's just so much better. Also, it occurs to me, I don't know if I submitted to Aries one of my favorite games. I didn't.
Puzzle? Is it puzzle?
Yeah, I hate you. For reminding me.
I really hope someone submits it to MT.
Oh, I'll reject it outright.
So
You have my word. If I see puzzle in that testing list as a tester, I will instantly reject it.
There are so many fun strategies there. Like, did you know if you go to a rock paper scissors mini game, if you press select 3 times, you skip. You go into. You have a different mini game, and both players throw dice. So suddenly your expected win ratio is much higher. Like, you both throw 6-sided dice.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you over all the RNG that the game still is, and why I'm going to remove it from mystery. I will not let that game through.
It's not RNG if you have to play RPS 100 times. It really evens out, and really you have to play RPS 100 times, and the biggest time saver is to remember all of the key presses, because you have to press... Listen to me. You have to press B, then you have to press select 3 times, then you have to press A, then depending on the... If it's a tie, you have to spam A again. If you won or you lost, you have to press B. But you can... If you won, you cannot press B too many times, because I believe the swapping freaks out and something bad happens. But there's a lot of muscle memory involved, and when you have to repeat that like 10 times in a row, it gets really messy.
You cannot justify this to me.
I played. Actually, I played till the game crashed, which was not very long. That was literally the very first time when I played an NES game in emulator and it crashed. I finished 2-5, and by the way, the whole second world is just naked, pixelated ladies. And I have no idea how the third world looks like, so I'm not sure if we could actually stream those matches, but those potential matches. But
I had a feeling that game would go the way of Bubble Bath Babes real quick.
That was a very weird experience.
So we got 10 minutes left for FFR to figure this out. I believe. I know he can achieve. You just gotta hit that block and then back off. The problem is he keeps hitting it and jumping forward.
I mean, that's the solution. Okay, that's not the solution.
So, the question of has there ever been a crash the game goal? We've joked about soft lock percent in, for instance, Rob the Blob. But no, there's never been a game like that, a goal like that, because the problem with a goal like that is, unless the game explicitly crashes itself, like we're playing like Eternal Darkness or something, it's not okay to have those kind of goals. The key thing is, like, for instance, why a lot of Super Mario World hacks, for instance, won't get in, is because they require not just stuff that you can move around and learn on your own. Instead, it also requires advanced knowledge of the game. So having that advanced knowledge of how do I crash it, even if it's a common crash, even if it's like, you know, something that speedrunners deal with all the time, remember the point is, you're never supposed to be able to see a speedrun of it before you start playing. You're not allowed to know anything about the game at all. If
and
you
also,
know, then it's requested that you offer a redraw.
Super Mario is a bad game, and we don't allow bad games in Mystery Tournament.
Okay, both of those are lies. Absolute lies there. I am obligated to let a certain amount of Kuso in a mystery tournament. I've been threatened by unknown people who may or may not be but just myself. As much as I reluctantly don't want to accept some games, I have to accept a certain amount of them because
so
everybody's going to think some game is bad, like you thinking that Super Mario is bad just because you're bad at it.
Oh, no. So I spent, I don't know, 1 or 2 hours discussing with Kirua why Super Mario is bad. And for the record, Kirua is world record holder in Super Mario Bros. 3. I believe in both any percent and probably in all categories. Anyway, you're saying that we can allow bad games, so there's a chance for puzzle.
No, there's not. I'll tell you, I'm literally a tester and I will deny it. You submit it, Saiho. I dare you.
So when you cannot test all of the games.
Let me reject more Saiho subs.
Oh, well, my line of defense will be you're rejecting my submissions only because you're bad at puzzle. Like, literally bad puzzle game.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you. I'm in quarterfinals or semifinals for winners finalists in a puzzle tournament. Neener. Yeah, no, there's reasons. I've talked to you. I know you don't agree, but we'll keep the testing information out here. Oh, FFR, does he have the solution? He hasn't messed himself into a hole there.
Wait, so we can jump and attack?
Oh, no, wait, no, he has messed up because he got to jump and attack that block at the same time as landing on it, and no dice. FFR just keeps making a mistake. All you gotta do is go forward. How much memeing is there in MT matches? Well, wait, he's got an option here. Oh, as long as that boulder doesn't crush him, this is another way to solve it. It's basically the same way to solve it. And looks like ffrpro is finally finishing stage 12. Can he finish the last 3 stages in 5 minutes? 4.5 minutes?
I would say yes.
Yeah, the stages aren't too hard there. And I think that, like, the worst part is that he's going to either feel both frustrated and relieved at the same time that the rest of the puzzles are simple.
Oh yeah, the overthinking problem.
So So he knows what he's supposed to do on this one, but realizes probably that messed up there and tries to make that jump. But like I said, unless you can do it when it's pixel perfect, that jump is not happening.
Also, those jumps are really awkward. It's not really clear if you're touching the tile or not.
Yeah, those tiles, there's no good indicator of when they're going to fall, basically, because you basically have to be almost in the center of them when they do.
I would guess that only one tile is touched at every possible occasion. So you have to be over half of you should be in order to touch it. But it's actually different with most games.
I'd agree with that assertion here, though. The game seems very much so about very specific blocks, basically. It is, at its core, a tile-based puzzle game. Oh, FFR goes for the guy there, but...
Yeah, it's not possible now. That looked like some videos of cats on the internet that try to make a huge jump and then they fail miserably.
Just go for the wind up and oh, now you're on Reddit. Poor cat. So FFR trying to sort this out. And there you go. All you gotta do is get that guy, and he fires the bats, and FFR is across. Final battle.
What was even the idea of firing bat? Other than, well, we have this one animation of bat and we should put it somewhere within the game. Oh, we don't have projectiles for this enemy. Like, most probably they had bat enemy somewhere coded in and then have to do some last minute changes.
You assume Konami ever knew what they were doing? That's more credit than Konami deserves. Oh, come on. You got a minute and a half to solve this puzzle. And it doesn't require any boulder pushing.
Yeah,
and he sealed the exit.
Like, literally the only way you can get stuck in this level. That was it. Was it the last life?
I don't know. Oh, look at that. Jumps up, knocks the boulder. Jumps up, knocks the boulder. Unfortunately, you have to be on the bottom sprites in order to access the door.
There is still 1 minute.
Was that the final life? I don't think it was. Nope.
Yeah. There's still a lot of time left. So
40 seconds. We're getting close.
Oh, not the optimal route? Okay, now I don't get it. It's clear if someone figures out that you can just wrap around the screen, it's trivial.
Yeah,
and FFR just did that.
Like, the game has more stuff in your way. Come on, FFR, you got 15 seconds left. 10, better get moving.
I would imagine Aris is now posting how many seconds left, and that you cannot do anything.
No, so I was actually proctoring this match, and unfortunately he goes over an hour. Spoilers, let's keep the game going, though. He'll finish shortly. I just want to have the satisfaction of seeing him finish again. See, the best part is, there he goes, realizing, oh yeah, I can just screen wrap and be done.
Oh, by the way, this fall stun makes some sense with enemies that move around.
Yeah, the fall stun does force you to reroute yourself if enemies are involved.
Yeah.
So that was that. FFR officially not finishing because it wasn't under the hour mark, missing it by 30 seconds of pondering and password writing. Unfortunately, knowing that there's a continue button and not writing down the passwords will get you. But I think really the time there was that loss on 12. So that was moai. I personally like the game. I think that it's a simple enough game. It's just that it's more about interactions than it is about in routing than it is about execution.
Yeah, it's also about execution, but it's more about trial and error than analytical thinking.
So, we'll be having another match coming up soonish. I don't know exactly when, but looks like that'll be it for moai. Windeu will be moving on to... Let me just verify who they're fighting real quick before we go. Gotta do the proper, this person will be moving on to such and such. Like proper commentators that know what they're doing or something. I swear I'm a proper commentator that knows what I'm doing. Maybe. So, Windeu will go on to face off against Aaron Daub in Losers Round 3. And TM will move on. Let me see here. TM will move on to fight Karaoke. And unfortunately, donkeyspaceman and ffrpro, you guys, you fought admirably, but it's time to go home. We will see you next time, friends. Feel free to stop by and watch. They are out of the tournament. So until next time. Oh.
You forgot to plug in Mr. Tournament. So TM and donkeyspaceman, you should join Mr. Tournament.
There you go. You're not done yet. Come join the mystery tournament. Come join the fun there. Emote spam, go. All right. So I guess that'll be it. Until then, I'm Blasphemous Roar somehow.
And I'm Psycho.
And we will see you later. Ta.